are listening to Give Me a Mic, Pro Wrestling Podcast with Chris Day and Wilson Detres.
Hey guys, welcome to Give Me a Mic, Episode 5. I'm Wilson Detres.
And I'm Chris Day. How's everyone doing?
It's a Monday afternoon today, and we have a lot to talk about. So
we're going to start with the UK tournament, NXT UK, whatever's going on with that.
Well, it's being called, we just discussed, it's being called TakeOver UK.
I believe so, yes.
But it's also, I don't know, it's weird. It's called TakeOver UK, but it's also the second ever United Kingdom Championship tournament. So it's weird. I don't know how they branded it. But anyways, I'm just going to go through the card. This was actually spoiled online. Yeah, it was spoiled online, and I didn't look at the results myself because I didn't want to be disappointed or not be disappointed.
I know one of the matches that was spoiled. I don't know if anything else was spoiled. I won't say it. I won't reveal it for anyone listening or you who's going to watch it.
Right. I'm going to watch it later on today. That's why I didn't look at the results.
So chances are, if you're going to watch it, by the time you hear this, you've already watched it and you know what we're talking about.
Right.
But we're going to go through all the matches anyway.
NXT Tag Team Championship match. NXT Tag Team Champions, The Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven.
I would like to say that I love them. I saw them at Access.
Which one?
Mustache Mountain.
Oh.
I saw them at Access. Thought they were just the way they portrayed the gimmick was really funny. Undisputed Era. Well, we know how good they are.
Right.
So I'm expecting that match to be an exceptional match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just by looking at the rest of the card, they'll probably give the belts to Mustache Mountain.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Because I don't see the championships on this card changing hands other than the tag team titles.
Even though they're on Undisputed Era?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Undisputed Era have the belts for like 200 plus days since November. So.
That's true.
So that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Next match, the NXT Women's Championship. NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler defending against Toni Storm. And I love Toni Storm, by the way. If you didn't watch her at the Mae Young Classic last year, she was really, really great.
Yeah,
and she's gorgeous.
I'm not familiar with her, but regardless, Shayna Baszler, she's still generally early into her title reign. I don't see that ending anytime soon. So I would say Shayna Baszler is going to be the winner.
You're right. That's exactly what I predicted. Moving on, NXT North American Championship match. NXT North American Champion Adam Cole defending against Wolfgang. My opinion, Adam Cole's going to retain.
I would imagine so. I've seen Wolfgang wrestle, actually. He was on I think he was one of the dark matches of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn last year. So I've seen him in the ring. Adam Cole's Adam Cole. Adam Cole, baby. I would assume Adam Cole's going to win. I like how it's the North American title on the UK show.
Being defended in the UK.
They do it with the United States Championship, too. I hate when they do that.
Right. I mean, I don't know. You would think it would only be defended in North America.
It makes sense. But
it makes sense, right.
Then again, there was a European title that was defended in America all the time, so...
No, I remember one time...
With non-European wrestlers.
Right. I remember one time I was watching, I think it was like 2 years ago, it was Del Rio as the U.S. champion versus Kalisto in Europe for the U.S. title.
Yep.
I'm like, what? How does this make any sense? Whatever.
2 Mexican wrestlers...
In the UK...
For the U.S. title.
In the UK. What? Whatever.
Why even bother?
Only in WWE. Main event. The WWE United Kingdom Championship match. The WWE United Kingdom Championship Tournament Finals. The UK champion, Pete Dunne, defending against Zach Gibson. My opinion, I think Pete Dunne is so good right now, and I don't think he's dropping the title anytime soon. I could be wrong. They might go with this kid, but Pete Dunne, he's got a lot of momentum right now. I don't think he's dropping the belt.
You never know, but he's had the belt for a long time.
Over a year now.
Yeah, so you got to think, is it time to take the belt off him? Obviously, he's not a traditional champion with WWE where, I mean, he's almost doing the Brock Lesnar defenses, but that's...
Well, no, he's signed.
No, his contract is very different, though, than, like, say, like a Jeff Hardy or someone.
Right, he's working the UK... What's that promotion called?
ICW, I believe it was.
There's that one in Progress?
Progress, yeah.
Progress. He was a Progress World Champion while being the UK Champion.
Him and Tyler Bate had a thing at an indie show that Triple H showed up at last year. That was insane.
Right.
Imagine going to a indie show, like a couple hundred people, and Triple H shows up.
Yeah. So, I think. What do you think?
It's hard to go against Pete Dunne, so I'll go with Pete Dunne.
I believe Zach Gibson made it to the finals last year. No, not the finals. The semifinals last year. Again, and ironically he lost to Pete Dunne.
Well, then now you're saying it's a rematch, kind of, sort of.
Kind of.
So is this where Gibson gets his revenge?
I don't know.
Either way, I'm sure it'll be a great match. I'm looking forward, especially to watching that one because I love Pete Dunne.
Right. So, let's move on to Extreme Rules, to what's confirmed and what I think is going to happen. So far we have 4 matches, 3 of them confirmed. So let me start with, let's see, what's the most irrelevant.
Well, let's start with the unconfirmed one first.
Okay. The United States Championship match, the U.S. champion Jeff Hardy defending against Nakamura.
This match is going to be happening on SmackDown this week, the June 26th episode, so our opinions will probably be different after that airs.
True. Because I could see it ending in like a DQ finish or something like that.
And going to Extreme Rules, so... And especially Jeff Hardy's got, I don't know if he's doing like the Woken gimmick like Matt is, but he's got the face paint back.
Yeah,
So he's going back to the 09 Jeff Hardy. I feel like this is going to go to Extreme Rules, where Shinsuke Nakamura is going to have another last man standing match. He pulled the thing on SmackDown where he said, the referee didn't count in Japanese or whatever.
That was awesome.
And it's the Extreme Rules pay-per-view,
right.
So having that stipulation would also make sense. Shinsuke could win, try to reestablish a little bit of credibility, have a title reign.
He has the credibility. It's just a horrible booking. It really is. It's just really bad booking.
I'm not complaining about his talent or anything, but having him lose in the last year alone 6 televised WWE Championship matches he was in and did not come out victorious in any of them.
Right.
Not even by DQ. He lost, or there was the one draw with AJ Styles.
Right. He lost one of them, and the rest of them were he lost clean. He lost
twice to Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal, and then the rest were to Styles. So it's unfortunate, but I do think Nakamura would win the U.S. title.
He needs something. He should be WWE champion right now.
He should be. But I don't mind Styles as champion.
No, I don't either. I love AJ Styles. Right. But if you're going to have a feud go as long as Styles and Nakamura did and not get built to Nakamura, that just hurts him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. The multi-man #1 contenders match for a future WWE Universal title match against Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley versus to be announced versus to be announced versus to be announced. I don't even know how many guys are going to be in this match. But
I think it'll probably end up being a 6-pack challenge.
Probably. You could probably throw Rollins in there after he...
Rollins, Balor, maybe Elias, probably.
Elias.
I'm not sure who else will be in it. You got to think Strowman's not going to be in it because he's got the briefcase. But you never know with WWE. But to be honest, maybe Ziggler or McIntyre in there.
True.
But does the to be announced people really matter? Because we all know who's going over. Let me do it for you. The big dog, Roman Reigns, is going over, brother. We all know it's going to happen. Roman Reigns is going to face Brock Lesnar again. I'll be live at SummerSlam booing as loud as possible.
And you're going, right? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was happy when I bought the tickets. When I realized I might get Brock and Roman again, I was not so thrilled.
Well, you were fortunate enough to get them at WrestleMania 30, 31, and 34.
Well, I didn't go to 31. I was live at 34.
Right.
I actually watched 31 with you.
That's right. Yeah, my memory's jogged here. So we got them at those two main eras.
It didn't work at 31.
No.
It didn't work at 34. And they're going to do it at SummerSlam in Brooklyn, where the crowd is not going to care.
They're not. Well,
assumingly, we're not. I mean, that's not confirmed, but we're going to assume that Roman Reigns is going to win.
I can almost see Reigns losing again at SummerSlam.
Oh, I could too.
And then Strowman cashing in on Brock. That's the only scenario, because if Strowman cashes in on Reigns, who has just pretty much won the title from Brock, what are they going to do? Who's going to be the heel? Who's going to be the face? Like, I don't understand that.
It doesn't matter if he cashes in on Brock, though, because if Brock is leaving...
If he cashes in on Brock, that'll help Strowman, if anything. If he cashes in on Reigns, honestly, it won't benefit either of them. It'll benefit Strowman more because he's champion, but if they're pushing both of them as faces, it really wouldn't benefit either one. It'll favor Strowman more with the title, but moving forward, it really wouldn't benefit either one. It would benefit Strowman more if he took the belt off of Brock, but whatever. Raw's tonight, so they'll probably announce more names for this match.
Yeah, so when you're hearing this, there's probably be more confirmed,
Right.
but chances are it's not going to make a difference. But we'll come back to this in a future episode before Extreme Rules happens.
Right. WWE Championship match. WWE Champion AJ Styles versus Rusev with Aiden English. I did not think Rusev would have been the one to win that gauntlet match.
Absolutely not.
I was positive it was going to be Samoa Joe, but they swerved us and went with Rusev. I think this is just a filler feud to kill time for AJ's bigger opponent at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's likely the case. I'm not upset seeing Rusev in the match. I mean, it's at
Not
least
at all.
it's different. I mean, I thought it was going to be Samoa Joe.
It's what Raw's not doing is pushing new guys.
True. I assume Styles is going to win, and then conveniently Randy Orton's going to show up in time for SummerSlam. And we're probably going to see Styles and Orton at SummerSlam.
No.
That's my prediction.
No.
Orton's been off TV for a little while. You kind of forgot about him.
No.
He's going to show up for the big pay-per-view.
Why?
I could see your displeasure in that.
No. I want him to face Samoa Joe at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Why? Why?
Here's what I think. Here's my prediction
Oh
for
my
the next couple
gosh.
months. Doesn't make any sense at all, but here it is. Styles going to face Orton at SummerSlam. Regardless of the winner, they'll either have a rematch at Hell in a Cell in September,
Okay.
or they'll do some kind of four-way Hell in a Cell, which I would be all in for, which is Styles, Rusev, Nakamura, and Orton. The guy Styles is beaten. Doesn't really matter who champion is. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I think that'd be cool to see. They haven't done a multi-man Hell in a Cell in a long time. But, yeah, point is, I think Styles and Orton at SummerSlam. And you're shaking your head.
I am. Who wants to see that? Like, oh,
You don't want to see Rusev as WWE champion?
I'd rather see Rusev as WWE champion than Randy Orton in a title match.
Oh,
Because-
what if Randy Orton wins the title?
Oh my,
We have 14-time champion, I believe?
something like that. It's like he didn't need to win the title at WrestleMania 33
That was crap, by the way.
from Bray Wyatt of all people, and then he had it for a month and dropped it to
Jinder.
So
by that logic, Jinder is better than Bray Wyatt.
by that logic, yes. By WWE's logic, yes. But I really hope that doesn't happen. But you might be right.
Unless they do Styles and Samoa Joe at SummerSlam. Which would be a much better match, probably.
That would be ideal. So,
But
anyways,
this is WWE, and they don't give us what we want, so...
yeah. For all we know, Samoa Joe will probably be in the pre-show at SummerSlam.
Don't say that.
Yeah. Well. All right. Last match that's confirmed for now. I'm sure on Raw tonight, you guys will have maybe a match or two more added. A Raw Women's Championship match. WWE Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss defending against Nia Jax. Well, it looks like there's some real life heat between these two.
Yes, I did hear some stuff about that.
Nia went on Twitter and mocked Alexa's new I Am Enough tattoo that she had done recently, saying, for someone that doesn't care what anyone thinks, it's weird they have to go out and get a tattoo saying they're enough. Bliss has made her struggles with eating disorders and anorexia public, and this tweet reportedly got Nia Jax heat with the company officials. It's interesting to note that the two deleted all their photos together on Twitter and Instagram and no longer follow each other on social media.
Now, I heard that could be just for a storyline thing. Not the comment with the eating disorder or whatever, but the unfollowing and the pictures and whatnot.
I can see that.
Because they had a feud, going into WrestleMania, and everyone knows they're basically best friends.
If you don't watch, what is it, Total Divas?
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be just for that. Who knows? I don't know for sure.
Right. It's like watching, who was it? Natalia and Nikki Bella feuding that they hate each other on SmackDown. And then that, maybe a day later on Total Divas, they're taking pictures on Instagram and going out to dinner together.
And posting them together and stuff. It's like, come on. I think, Paige did that with, Alicia Fox or something, too. Same type of thing.
Yes.
It's like, they're feuding on TV, but, 2 hours after Raw, there's a picture in the same hotel room. Come on.
I don't know.
Another one. It was during the Dolph Ziggler-Miz feud. a couple years ago when the first episode of Ride Along aired, and it was those two together talking, like having coffee and stuff together in the car. It's like, come on.
Right, and then on Raw they hate each other and they want to kill each other.
I get the point of like kayfabe and whatnot, but like, come on.
Right.
At least kind of keep some consistency here. But back to the match. I'm not sure what the stipulation will be, if any.
Right, they haven't announced
Bliss is going to win.
Yeah, they haven't announced any stipulations for any of these matches.
Nia Jax had her Mania moment. Alexa Bliss is going to win, and we'll see Bliss and Rousey at SummerSlam. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, because her suspension, ironically, ends not the Raw after Extreme Rules, the week after that.
So 8 days after Extreme Rules, you'll see Rousey back on Raw.
Just in time to hype SummerSlam, because we're not supposed to pick up on that, Chris.
Oh yeah, they'll have 4 weeks of Rousey Bliss hype for SummerSlam.
Right. So
that's all we've got.
That's what we have
confirmed for Extreme Rules. Now we'll come back to that later on before the pay-per-view happens.
Right. And now the 20-year anniversary of the 1998 King of the Ring Hell in a Cell match between the Undertaker and Mankind.
Possibly I think it's the most memorable Hell in a Cell for obvious reasons.
Yes. Probably, yeah.
One of the most brutal matches, I think, to watch in WWE history from some of the bumps, which included some 2 minutes into the match, Undertaker throwing Mankind off the top of the cell through the announce table, which I was listening to an older interview recently with Jim Ross. He did not know that was going to happen. The announcers were unaware that spot was taking place, and all of Jim Ross's comments were ad-libbed, including the "As God is my witness, he is broken in half," and that killed him.
Yeah.
Those were unplanned. They weren't there was no Vince McMahon in his ear telling him to say that. That was all off the top of his head.
Well,
as Mick Foley laid looking like he was dead on the floor.
Well, I read an interview that Mick Foley did. And he was talking to, I believe it was Terry Funk, if I'm not mistaken. And he was talking about how he wanted to top the Shawn Michaels and Taker match at Bad Blood 97. It was like, what, 8 months earlier?
8 months earlier, yeah. It was October of 97.
Right. So he wanted to top that, and he was really looking for ways to, one-up that match. And one of the things that Terry Funk told him was like, all right, well, traditionally the match would start in the ring, but screw it. Go all the way to the top of the cage and have the match start there. Make it different. And that's exactly what he did. And they went with that spot, which
I believe
I think it made Mankind's career.
Oh yeah, I believe Mick Foley had told Vince McMahon before the show started or something along the lines of that he had been to the top of the cage and it wasn't that high, which was a complete lie. He had not been on top of the cage yet. He had told McMahon that he had already been up there and it wasn't that high. Which obviously is not the case.
Yeah, they wouldn't get away with that nowadays.
But Taker throws him off the top of the cell. He goes to the table. Minutes pass. They actually had raised the cell up with Taker still on top, just to get the stretcher around to Mankind.
Right.
They take him up the rampway. He gets off the stretcher, climbs back up to the top of the cell again, where Taker choke slams him through the top of the cell and down to the ring.
And that wasn't supposed to happen. They weren't counting on the top layer there, or whatever it's called, the roof of the cell,
breaking open,
giving way on 600, well, granted, it's 600 pounds of humanity up there.
True.
But they weren't counting on, at least Foley wasn't counting on that breaking, and Taker was very, very lucky that he wasn't standing on that same platform where Foley went through, because they both would have went down.
And because Taker was in a standing position, chances are he might break his leg or something going down.
Easily, yeah. So, that wasn't planned at all, Foley going through the cell and breaking his hip, and I believe that was where he lost his tooth. There was a steel chair, I think, but I don't know where it was. I think it was on the roof.
Yeah, it was up top, I think, also.
Right, so when he went through, the chair fell down with him, hit him in the mouth, and his tooth went to the back of his throat, and he exasperated through his nose.
Yeah, because you see it on his upper lip later on.
Jeez.
Jerry Lawler, at that point, iconically said, "That's it, he's dead."
Yeah.
As it looked like
it was legit.
Was dead.
Yeah, he was like, "That's it, he's dead."
Terry Funk gets in the ring, and they were, I think, him and Foley were feuding as Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack earlier in that same year, I believe.
Wow.
Even though they were tag team champions also at some point there. But yeah, it's just watching the match, and then it still went on after that. There's another 10, 15 minutes after that.
Foley insisted that the match go on.
I know Foley didn't get. I don't think he got a whole lot of offense in the match. I know.
Oh no, he was
chokeslammed on thumbtacks later on. If everything else wasn't enough.
Yeah, Foley. The extent of his injuries, man, internal bleeding, a broken hip, concussion after concussion. I always liked how he was, able to sacrifice his body for the entertainment of the fans.
I mean, it certainly made his career without
a
doubt.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I believe Undertaker won with a tombstone after the chokeslam on the tax.
Yes.
To mercifully put an end to that match.
And yeah, you're right. And after that, and just to show how tough Foley is, he went out during the main event again, and that same night he interfered in the Austin and Kane match.
That's correct. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. He ran out and interfered. He had to do a little spot there.
I forgot that Undertaker and Mankind were involved in the end of that match. The first blood match between Stone Cold and Kane.
Right.
For the WWF Championship.
Right. And they didn't want him to run out, but he insisted.
I forgot all about that because the earlier event overshadows the main event.
Oh.
Especially when you consider the next night that Austin won the title back from Kane anyway. So you really forget all about that even happening.
You do. But yeah, Mick Foley's one of my favorites. He always sacrificed his body for our entertainment. And
I've had the pleasure of meeting Mick Foley a couple times.
I haven't. I really want to meet him.
Let me tell you something.
Just thank him. Thank you. I watched that as a kid, and you're one of my favorites.
He is certainly a character. I was at an indie show not too long ago, where I'm pretty sure this was in March, and I'm pretty sure he had Mickey Mouse Christmas pants on or something, or Winnie the Pooh pants or something. It was ridiculous.
He doesn't waste money. That's for sure.
No, and he's got to be loaded, because he has never spent a dime of what he's got. He drives a beat up car. He doesn't have nice suits and stuff. I want to know if he's actually still loaded from all this stuff.
Oh yeah, he's still signed with WWE under a Legends contract, so he's still getting paid.
But yeah, so it's been 20 years since that iconic match. Obviously, Mick Foley is basically fully retired, except for some appearances here and there. Nothing actually in the ring. Taker, you see him once a year. We'll see him at in Australia in October.
Yes, we talked about that last.
Apparently,
week.
Also. Saying on Taker, apparently there has been rumors that he has been presented with a storyline for SummerSlam.
I didn't hear about that.
I heard this yesterday. There's no word on who he'd be facing or what the storyline actually is, but he's been presented with the idea apparently.
Well, if they present him with an exorbitant amount of money, I'm sure he'll.
Yes, I'm sure Taker has said he's done multiple times until Vince breaks out the checkbook.
Yeah, pretty much.
With a 7-figure number, and Taker's suddenly back and ready to go.
Exactly. So we'll see about that. Moving on. But yeah, actually, before we do move on, if you want to check out that match, watch it on the WWE Network. King of the Ring, 1998. Okay.
So now moving on. To a sadder topic in the world of wrestling. I'm sure everybody has heard by now. It's been a few days after it's been announced. The unfortunate passing of Leon Big Van Vader White. Yes.
Vader's son Jesse White announced the passing on Twitter, saying, these are his words, not mine, "It's with a heavy heart to inform everyone that my father, Leon White, passed away on Monday night, which would have been
June 18th.
June 18th, 2018, at approximately 7:25 p.m. Around a month ago, my father was diagnosed with a severe case of pneumonia. He fought extremely hard, and clinically he was making progress. Unfortunately, on Monday, his heart had enough, and it was his time." So again, this is sad news for the wrestling community. I would have loved to have seen Vader go into the Hall of Fame in his lifetime, when he was alive. Didn't he tweet back in 2016 that his doctor told him he had a heart condition and he had 2 years to live?
I believe so, yeah.
I remember that now.
I do remember that. Something about that, yeah.
Right. They told him he had 2 years to live, that his heart had weakened from his years in wrestling and, all that stuff he was doing in Japan and stuff. So it's really sad he succumbed to his illness a year and a half later. It wasn't even 2 years, which is sad.
Yeah, and It's unfortunate. You see it a lot of times with bigger men too, especially like Vader.
Yeah, he said in an interview that despite the diagnosis, he would continue to wrestle, and that if he died, he wanted it to be in the ring, doing what he loved to do. So,
Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen for him. I did actually get the opportunity to see him wrestle one time.
did you? Where was this?
It was the last 3-hour Raw before Raw went to 3 hours officially.
Is this Raw 1000?
No, this is leading up to Raw 1000. I think this was like Raw like 994.
No, you're right. Yeah.
He was the first legend to face Heath Slater in the weeks leading up to Raw 1000. He came out because Slater was in the ring. He said, "It's Slater time."
Oh,
Vader
yeah.
comes out, squashes him. So I have been able to say I've seen Vader one time live and in person.
You did.
I didn't get to meet him one time. I was working with a buddy of ours, Nick, who was helping a friend of his at a wrestling convention, and the guy had brought in Vader for the convention. I didn't get to really interact with Vader much. Shook his hand, said, "How you doing?"
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have a picture with him.
It would have been great.
Our friend Nick does. I'll see if I can put that maybe at the end of this video.
Yeah,
Just,
definitely.
in memory of Vader.
So Vader was one of the most successful big men of the 90s. I took in the time to, study and note his career and pay some tribute to him. He's a former 3-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling, capturing that World Championship twice in 1989 and once in 1991. Vader would then form a tag team with, I'm sure you know from ECW, Bam Bam Bigelow, under the name Big Bad and Dangerous, and they would go on to win the IWGP Tag Team Championships in March of 1992. Vader also captured the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on 3 different occasions, once in 1992, and twice in 1993. He concluded his 6th world title reign main eventing the 10th anniversary of Starrcade against the legendary Ric Flair in a title versus career match. The following year at Starrcade 1994, Vader captured gold again by defeating Hacksaw Jim Duggan, another WWE Hall of Famer, for the for the United States Championship. The Mastodon would join WWE in 1996 during that year's Royal Rumble, and eventually starting a feud with then WWE Champion Shawn Michaels, and getting a pinfall victory over the WWE Champion at the WWE In Your House 9 pay-per-view in a 6-man tag team match.
Now, I want to go jump back real quick to 95. You say where he won the U.S. title?
Oh, that was 94 Starrcade.
94. But he held into 95. Starrcade was in December.
Sure.
There's an episode of Boy Meets World, which is one of my favorite shows, by the way.
Yeah, let's talk about
where
that.
Vader shows up with the U.S. title around his waist.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because he has that
That's
belt
right.
with him in the episode.
I forgot about that.
Vader appeared in, I believe, 3 different episodes of Boy Meets World, which are all very entertaining. And one actually involves where main character Corey Matthews is going for a spot in the wrestling team. And his son and his friend are his opponent for the spot in the team. Vader shows up, actually gets in the ring. It's really entertaining. It's a good time.
Yes.
Mr. Feeney comes and saves the day. No actual wrestling between him and Vader.
Saying his real name was Leslie.
Yes, his real name was Leslie, to get Vader to put him down. And then Vader challenges Mr. Feeney to a Texas death match where the loser has to leave town.
Texas death match. Loser leaves town.
So that was one of them. It's a great episode.
That was a horrible impression, but that was great.
And there's another episode from when Vader was in the WWE, or WWF at the time.
Oh, yeah, it's the house show.
Where his son, feels like his father doesn't love him enough.
Frankie's Taquino.
Frankie's Taquino. So he goes to...
he tries to bond with him through wrestling.
Yes, tries to bond with him through wrestling. There's a match, Vader versus Jake the Snake Roberts, where a winner gets a shot at Shawn Michaels at Madison Square Garden, which actually did happen at SummerSlam that year, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna... Yeah.
So, the house show actually did play some significance. I'm sure they did it on TV or something also, but...
I mean, I'm pretty sure they just announced Vader as the number one... Because
I'm
pretty sure they just went off of him pinning Michaels in that 6-man tag.
Probably, yeah.
But
they did that on TV, even though it was a house show. Brother Love does commentary for that match on TV. Earl Hebner's the referee.
Yes.
You can see Gerald Briscoe in the background also. But imagine going to a house show and it's Vader accompanied by stars of Boy Meets World.
Right.
That's essentially what it was to the live audience for that show.
I'm sure they allowed that to happen because it was a house show.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't televised or anything. So.
Well, nowadays they probably let them do it on TV.
Oh yeah,
With
definitely.
WWE and their pop culture trying to be in the in crowd.
Yep.
But yeah, so Vader had a couple episodes on TV. I believe he appeared in Baywatch also.
Yes.
Which I didn't watch because I was like 5 when Baywatch aired. But I know he was on. He was more than just Boy Meets World. He was on a couple shows also.
He was. Yeah, he was.
I know, and during Vader's world title reign in WCW, I believe he feuded with Hulk Hogan also.
He did, in fact.
So he's had some legendary feuds.
He has. Vader then went on to main event SummerSlam 1996 against Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship in a losing effort. After that feud ended, Vader would go on to earn a victory over The Undertaker at the 1997 Royal Rumble, and the following month competed against Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, and The Undertaker in a fatal 4-way match for the vacant WWE title, but would come up short. He would main event one last WWE pay-per-view, which was In Your House 16 on July 6, 1997, facing The Undertaker in the main event for the WWE World title and coming up short.
I think it's a borderline travesty that he didn't win the WWE Championship.
Oh, he was definitely being pushed. I don't know why that happened.
I mean, it doesn't help that when it's your first day in the company, you beat up Gorilla Monsoon or something either. That probably didn't help his causes any.
Probably. But I took the time to list some of his big matches, some of his best matches. I'm sure there are a lot more that should be on this list, but hold on.
Anything from WWE or WCW you can find on the WWE Network.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You can look these up on the WWE Network or YouTube.
For only $9.99. Cheap plug for a company we don't work for.
Right. So I have 6 listed, so I'll start with 6 to number 1 that I think was his best match, or at least his best high-profile match. Number 6, Vader versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart versus The Undertaker, fatal 4-way WWE title match in the main event at In Your House Final 4 '97. Number 5, Vader versus The Undertaker that headlined the 1997 Royal Rumble. Number 4, Vader versus WCW World Heavyweight Champion Sting in the main event of the Great American Bash 1992 for the WCW World Heavyweight title. Number 3, Vader versus WWE Champion Shawn Michaels in the main event of SummerSlam 1996 for the WWE Championship. Number 2, Vader versus Shinya Hashimoto in a tournament final for the vacant IWGP World Heavyweight Championship with special guest referee Lou Thesz on April 24th, 1989. This would be Vader's first world title win. And number 1, WCW World Heavyweight Champion Vader versus Ric Flair in the main event of the 10th anniversary of Starrcade at Starrcade 93 in a title versus career match.
That's essentially WCW's WrestleMania, Starrcade.
Yes. He would leave WWE in 1998 to go back and wrestle for New Japan, and he continued to wrestle around the world until 2017. He was one of the best agile big men of the 90s, like I said before, and he will be missed, and he will no doubt go into the Hall of Fame someday. Rest in peace.
Oh, it'll probably be this year, because WWE likes to do things like that. Someone passes away and they go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well,
they did it with Eddie Guerrero, they did it with Paul Bearer.
Well, yeah, you're right, but he deserves it.
Oh, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. He definitely does deserve it, but, it's now too late, but they'll do it this year anyway.
Right. So rest in peace, Vader. So if you're listening and, you want to check out those matches, check them out on the WWE Network, YouTube, and you'll see how great he was. And
yeah, I think he had a really underappreciated career, I would
he
say.
He did. Definitely did. So, raise your glasses to Vader.
Leon White.
Moving on. Fantasy matches.
Fantasy Warfare.
My favorite.
I like calling it Fantasy Warfare. It sounds better.
All right, let's call it Fantasy Warfare.
Yeah.
All right. So I have 8 matches listed. We've done this before. I tell you the matches and we'll go from there. You tell me who you think would win.
I'll give you the winner. If you're listening, comment, do all that. Tell us if you agree or disagree.
Right. So moving on. Number 1. Rob Van Dam from 1998 versus Neville currently.
Wow. Actually, just last night I watched Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn on ECW, the TV title.
Yes.
Which was a great match. Versus Neville currently.
Yes.
I'm going to give it to RVD because we're talking about 98 RVD.
Right.
and he had a 2-year reign of the ECW TV title. Neville hasn't been on TV, in the last year or so. I'm not really sure what he's doing because he can't do anything because his contract is frozen. But RVD in the late 90s was just so good that I got to go with RVD.
Okay. I don't disagree with you. My prediction is RVD wins if it's a hardcore match. Neville wins if it's a regular match.
Okay, I can see that.
That's my opinion.
Now, if we're talking in the last 5 years, Neville easy.
Easy, yeah.
Easy.
All right, number 2. The Crow Sting from 1998 versus the Demon Finn Balor.
Sting.
I agree.
It's Sting, no doubt, because Sting is Sting, and Finn Balor's booked terribly, and it's Sting. It's Sting, it's Sting, it's Sting, it's Sting.
Well, let me tell you, try and take away their booking out of it, and just look at their talent. But I do agree with you. I do think Sting would win.
It's still Sting in his prime. Now,
Now,
granted, Finn Balor's in his prime, and that would be a phenomenal matchup.
Just imagine the build-up to that.
But
imagine the mind
oh
games.
my god, the
imagine,
demon, yeah.
that'd be
insane.
Incredible.
It's almost to the point where that Sting has already been a multiple-time world champion at this point, and it's just I wouldn't be surprised if he put Balor over, but it's Sting.
Well, Sting was already he was already established, and he was already a legend at that time anyway. Number 3, I like this a lot. Hardcore championship match, Mankind from 1998 versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh,
that's incredible.
Well, with the way it currently is, I gotta go Tommaso Ciampa.
Actually, I've never done this before. Let me change that right now on the air. Mick Foley from 2000 versus Tommaso Ciampa in a hardcore championship match. Because I think the Mick Foley persona would have worked better against Tommaso Ciampa versus Mankind, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it'd be more like Cactus Jack versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Or Cactus Jack.
We're going to that persona.
Yeah, okay, let's go with Cactus Jack.
Because Cactus Jack is what Triple H faced at Royal Rumble 2000 in Street Fight.
So let's go with Cactus
Jack.
Jack.
Pedigreed him on a bet of tax, which that can't pay me enough for that. To go face first, but
right. So let's go with Cactus Jack, the ECW Cactus Jack versus Tommaso Ciampa. That would be an incredible match.
I'm gonna go with Tommaso Ciampa. Now this might be solely because I just watched Takeover Chicago, but
he's incredible.
Yeah, he is. And the way his character is, I know he had, I believe it was ROH, his character was the same thing.
He was a Sicilian psychopath.
I couldn't think of the name, but yes. So, I gotta go Ciampa.
Well, he's still being called a Sicilian psychopath.
I really hope, I wish they would bring the hardcore title back, even if it was like a network thing.
I would want it brought back without the 24/7 rule.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if they did come on, if you do a network special, you're not putting the violence on TV. I'm not saying have blood, but, I'm tired of the
hardcore title,
the watered down Extreme Rules once a year.
Oh, yeah. Moving on. I told you this the other day, so maybe your opinion has changed on this. Raw versus SmackDown Live. My ideal team. So let's say this will take place at a Survivor Series.
It's like 8-on-8, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. Team Raw, WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, The Shield, which is Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens, the Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and the Demon Finn Balor versus Team SmackDown Live, WWE Champion AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, WWE United States Champion Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, who's the current IWGP Intercontinental Champion, Daniel Bryan, and John Cena.
I went with Team SmackDown, and I still am. I think it's believable for someone like John Cena to pin Brock Lesnar. It's happened before.
Sure.
You got guys like, Styles, Orton, Kevin Owens is a beatable person, Finn Balor's a beatable person, Dean Ambrose is a beatable person, Ziggler's a beatable person. I feel like the advantage is just more to Team SmackDown, with the exception of really Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And I don't think...
Because on SmackDown, you have Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, John Cena, Nakamura, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles.
So I think Samoa Joe can also believably beat Brock Lesnar.
Right.
The feud they had, he looked better than Brock. I think Samoa Joe can believably beat Roman Reigns, even though he wasn't booked that way, because WWE creative sucks. But yeah, I got to go Team SmackDown with that.
Okay, I would agree.
Now, if that were ever to actually happen, which it won't, But if it did and Team Raw won, I wouldn't be surprised. But, you know, I'm going Team SmackDown.
I agree.
And WWE likes to also make SmackDown seem like they're better than Raw, even though we all know they're not. At least in terms of viewers.
I mean,
SmackDown is a better show.
You mean Raw better than SmackDown? They like to make it known that Raw's better than SmackDown.
No. When they do stuff like this, Raw versus SmackDown, I feel like SmackDown typically wins to make it seem like they're a stronger show.
Oh, well, they are.
They are, but it's not, it doesn't come off that way with the ratings.
Sure. Yeah, I always said it. Even until now, I don't know how SmackDown manages to get lower ratings than Raw when Raw's being promoted without a world champion. I just don't understand that. But whatever. Moving on. Daniel Bryan versus Chris Benoit from 2004.
That better be a submission match.
Sure, let's make it a submission match. My prediction was Benoit would win. I can see Daniel going for the headbutt and Benoit just getting him in the crossface right there.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see
the yes lock. I mean the label lock versus the crossface.
I feel like I could see Benoit going for his flying headbutt and getting basically like missing it and getting put in the label lock real quickly.
Yeah.
Or missing it in the heel hook real quickly. But
this is Benoit in his arguably his prime as world champion.
This is a world title reign. Yeah.
Right. This is Benoit when he was.
When he was for real.
The Wolverine, yeah. He was, he was the real deal at this point. So
I would go with Chris Benoit, yeah.
No doubt.
Oh, it's unfortunate that match never had to happen.
Right. Next.
If you want to see a great match, by the way, with Benoit, Royal Rumble 2003, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit.
Yes, that was a great
WWE
match.
Championship.
I saw that live.
I did as well, yes, I did as well.
You did too?
I actually thought Benoit was going to win. I was very upset that he didn't.
Right.
But
well,
granted, I was 12 at this point too, so
yeah, I was around the same age too. So that was one of the real wrestling, style matches I've seen.
Yeah, you want to see an actual technical wrestling match? Watch that.
Yeah. Moving on. Eddie Guerrero from 2003 versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from 1988. This is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat who faced Macho Man at WrestleMania. So. My prediction is Eddie would just slightly get the win. Just slightly. Even though Ricky was incredible at that point.
No, I got to go with the Dragon.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Dragon on that one.
I don't disagree with you.
After having, one of the greatest matches of all time against Macho at Mania 3,
yes.
I'm not going against him. This is just before Eddie had the WWE Championship reign, because we're talking about 03, now 04. Although he had a great match against Edge on a SmackDown. I'm not sure if it was 2002 or 2003.
Eddie?
Yeah, it was Eddie against Edge, which they consider a ladder match, even though it was not. A ladder match was just involved in the match.
No, it was a no DQ match on SmackDown.
Yes, I know, but some people have called it a ladder match.
It's not a ladder match.
I know it's not, but there's a ladder that gets brought in, and people consider it for some reason a ladder match.
They had a match at SummerSlam 2002, Unforgiven 2002, and they ended the feud at an episode of SmackDown in that no DQ match, which was incredible.
Great match. Eddie got a standing ovation after it was over, even though he was a loser.
He did, and he was a heel at the time. So it's just a testament to how great Eddie was. So, yeah, you say the Dragon, I say Eddie.
Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Next match. These next two matches, I would, if I was running a show in WWE, I would close the show with these two matches. Oof. All right. How many guys are in this? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay. WWE Cruiserweight Championship Challenge match.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio Jr. from 1999 versus Ricochet versus Chavo Classic from the 80s versus Kota Ibushi versus Eddie Guerrero from 1998 versus Chris Jericho from 1997 versus Cedric Alexander versus Neville. And if you don't know who Kota Ibushi is, he competed in the Cruiserweight Classic in September of 2016, and he competes in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Because I'm a mark for him, I'm going to say Rey Mysterio. But realistically, I think
oh my goodness,
talking at this point, I would go with probably Neville.
Oh man, this is a tough one.
You can really give it to anybody. Literally anybody.
Anybody.
And it's believable and exciting, and no one's going to be upset about it.
Because you have Neville, Ibushi, Mysterio, Ricochet,
Eddie, Jericho.
Eddie as... Well, this is what I was going to say. You have Neville, Ibushi, Mysterio, Ricochet, and Eddie as the High Flyers. And then you have Jericho and Classic as the ground-type cruiserweights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though Jericho's agile too, but... so you have a mixture of all these things and of all these wrestling styles. And then Cedric Alexander, he has... he can do both.
He's actually making 205 Live somewhat interesting.
Yes.
Not saying I watch it still, but,
So, yeah, you could really give it to anybody. Man, I would...
Well, see, here's the thing. In 1999, when I still partially watched WCW as an 8-year-old, I loved Rey Mysterio Jr.
I believe, yeah.
So that's why I'm saying him, but, I mean, you can really go with anybody.
I'd give it to Kota Ibushi.
Ibushi?
I would give it to Kota Ibushi. He's probably one of the greatest wrestlers in the world right now. And that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot, yeah.
Moving on. Fatal 5-way match for the WWE Women's Championship. China from 1998 to 1999 versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Beth Phoenix from 2007 versus Trish Stratus from 2004-2005.
Wow.
That's a great match.
Now, it's not elimination, right? It's just one pinfall?
Yes, sudden death.
Okay. If that's the case, I would go out on a limb here and go Beth Phoenix.
Really? Beth Phoenix?
Because if you're booking it, I'm trying to think of it from a booker's perspective, who do you think is most likely going to lose that match?
Beth Phoenix.
Exactly. She can win it without pinning China, without pinning Ronda Rousey, and without pinning Charlotte. Trish Stratus probably wouldn't get hurt with the pinfall. They had a feud, I believe, also, Beth Phoenix and Trish Stratus. So you could have someone like China or Charlotte or Ronda do all the work and kind of sneak in for the pin or something along those lines. I think it's believable for Beth Phoenix to win anyway. I would love to see Beth Phoenix versus China. And Beth Phoenix is still in great shape. I wish she'd come back for like a year-long run. I really do. With this revolution they're doing right now with women, having her in there also, Beth Phoenix and Nia Jax, Beth Phoenix and Asuka, Beth Phoenix and Charlotte, it just, come on.
They could do it.
It writes itself.
Right.
Realistically, probably Charlotte Flair. If WWE is booking this, it's Charlotte Flair.
I would go with China. Because I might be a little biased here, but China in 1997, 1998, 1999, she was untouchable. Like, she was an attraction for women at that time, for the women of the company at the time. And when you put her against Ronda, Charlotte, Beth Phoenix, and Trish, they just... I don't care. Even with Ronda and her MMA career, I don't care. They do not stand a chance against China's pure strength. They just don't. And I think I could just easily see China overpowering every single one of them and hitting them with her finisher.
And I agree with that, but because the fact that it's one pinfall and not elimination, if we're doing elimination, I say China.
Okay.
But because we're not.
I'll give you that.
Because we're not.
I'm satisfied with that.
There's no actual... she doesn't have to be involved in the decision.
Sure, I'm satisfied with that.
She doesn't have to tap, she doesn't have to pin.
Okay. I'm satisfied with that.
Same thing with Ronda. She doesn't have to tap or get pinned in this situation.
I think for both of us...
By the way, this is off topic real quick. There have been rumors that the main event of WrestleMania 35 is going to be Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I swear to God, if Ronda Rousey taps out to end Mania 35... Look, I can accept if she's beaten by Charlotte. If Ronda Rousey taps out to end WrestleMania, I will throw a tantrum. I will throw my souvenir chair at the ring. I will be so angry if that happens.
I hope it does now.
Yeah, you would. No, you're probably sitting here. You'll probably watch at home. You'll be hoping Roman Reigns main events again.
No, I will not. But moving forward.
Yeah, moving on.
Wow, I'm stuttering here. Sorry, guys. WWE to make huge announcement on women's wrestling soon. And you have something to say about that, but let me get this out of the way first, because I think what you have to say is a lot more important than what I have to say, kind of, or maybe equal. WWE COO Triple H and WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels recently spoke with Give Me Sport while in the UK this week for the UK title tournament. And the COO said WWE will have a huge announcement on women's wrestling coming soon. According to Give Me Sport reporter Alex McCarthy, Shawn Michaels added that he doesn't think an all-women's pay-per-view or even an all-women's brand is too far away right now. We do know that it's very likely, if not imminent, that WWE will announce the second annual Mae Young Classic tournament for the summer. That will likely tape, in the first week or two of August. Kairi Sane was the inaugural winner of the tournament last year, so let's see who wins it this year. What did you have to say?
I did hear about all that. I heard somewhere in that interview, it was Triple H and Shawn Michaels. They were doing like a press conference or an interview or something. I believe it was Shawn Michaels who said there's a possibility of a WWE versus NXT storyline or angle or something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure. He didn't say it was actually indefinite or that this is going to happen. But, I mean, I could see it happening. It would make sense for like a Survivor Series type of thing. It'd almost be like, bringing Nexus in type of thing. That's
why it makes sense to keep Black there as champion and not bring him in this year.
Because imagine if you bring in some of the guys who go, say it's a 4-on-4 for Survivor Series. Let's just go.
You can just easily go with the Undisputed Era. Well, easily. You don't even need the champion.
Assume, all right. Well,
easily.
Let's just go through the possibilities.
Aleister Black.
Who are still on NXT as of this moment.
Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole. I mean, come on. Velveteen Dream, Ricochet.
Exactly. You don't even have to use everyone in NXT to pull off a phenomenal match against some of the top stars. I don't know if it's Raw or SmackDown or what they would do. There's so many possibilities you do with it. Right. And still keep it. You can still have a whole stacked takeover show the night before.
Oh, my goodness.
Because you're talking about, you're leaving guys like EC3 we didn't name. There's... you'd still do your women's thing with Shayna Baszler.
Cassius Ohno.
You can keep... I would probably... maybe have two of the Undisputed Era in.
Lars Sullivan.
And keep maybe Adam Cole on TakeOver.
I can see
for the reason of having a title match main event type of thing.
And I can see them doing a spot with Strowman and Lars Sullivan or something.
Yeah, that'd be something stupid. If you tell me Lars Sullivan's going to be Braun Strowman, I'll be insulted.
I'm just saying,
But yeah, imagine the possibilities.
Right.
And John Cena has stated that he would like to face Velveteen Dream.
Yes. I talked about that last week.
And... let me tell you something.
I'll continue to sing his praises.
For a part-timer like John Cena, if he would put over Velveteen Dream, how huge would that be for Dream? Oh. Especially if it's something like his first main roster match, like Kevin Owens, or something along those lines. That is huge. You could build off that for a year.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, this isn't confirmed. This isn't definitely happening. I'm just hoping and really, really, really hoping because I would love to see an NXT storyline. I think it'd be you put fresh faces in the main event picture for something like this, and I think it creates some excitement.
Do you think they would do an all-women's brand? Do you think that's something that they would actually go on with?
I think I'd be interested in seeing it. Here's the thing: when are they going to do it? I don't think they're going to be record that before a Raw or SmackDown. I think it's something you have to do maybe at Full Sail University or something along those lines where you tape 5 or 6 episodes at one time. Because when are you going to record it before, you're on the shows?
If we're talking about a full-fledged brand, it's something they would have to tape on a Thursday or a Wednesday. You know what I mean? And they have their own show or maybe before Raw.
Yeah.
Or before SmackDown, whatever the case.
But we're still keeping them on Raw and SmackDown, aren't we?
That's the thing. If it's a woman's brand, they have their own. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's such a weird.
I don't think we're taking them off the shows completely. That's the thing.
It's such a weird concept. But what about an all women's?
I'm not opposed to it. Let's see how they do it.
What about an all women's pay-per-view?
I'm okay with that. I don't think they'll. I think it would be more of a network special than an actual pay-per-view.
No, I don't think so. I can almost see them adding in a pay-per-view in the year where it's all women.
I would still watch it. Not opposed to that.
I could see them doing an all women's. Let me just think off the top of my head, like a takeover type of thing. Which is all women's pay-per-view, all women's audience.
Well, I don't know about it being all.
I can see them doing that.
Only letting women show up for the show.
Yeah, I can see them. Seriously, I can really see them doing that.
Well, this is WWE with their money, so I don't think that would happen, and that's why I said it'd be a network special and not an actual pay-per-view, because I don't think the people who still are morons and pay $55 for pay-per-view or whatever, there are very few people, but I don't think the cable companies would let that happen to the point where...
True.
They would... I don't think there'd be enough people who are actually going to buy it, is the point.
True.
I'm trying to think of it from a business perspective, not what I want to see, because I'd be all for that.
Right. Yeah, and I think in all women's, I think they're both very more likely to happen. I think in all women's brand, easily Charlotte Flair is the face of that brand.
Yep.
With your secondaries being Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and whatnot. Could you see them taking the women off of Raw and SmackDown completely, and then just putting them all in one brand?
I can't see them being off completely. I don't think that'd be good for either show, to be honest. I mean, it might be good for Raw because it would give other people more time to be on the air.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
in SmackDown, there's not enough time to begin with SmackDown.
Well, think about it. On Raw and SmackDown, the women don't have that much time. They have maybe a few segments, and there's 2 or 3 matches, right?
Yeah.
But if they have their own brand, they have maybe 2 hours of time that they don't have on TV.
True.
And then on Raw and SmackDown, you have that empty time that they could fill with any new talent that they have or whatever. So, I mean, does it really hurt Raw and SmackDown? Does it really? Because if you think about it, you're talking about women's equality here, which it would make sense.
And giving them their own show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would make sense. Because you have Raw and SmackDown with the male talent and the world titles and the secondary titles and the tag titles. Now think about this. They have an all women's brand. They have the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title. They'll somehow integrate those titles in there.
Yeah,
right?
I'd assume they'd have to have one champion if they're doing a whole brand.
Now, what's to say they won't have women's tag team titles? Or a women's secondary title?
I could definitely see that happening. You'd have Mandy and Sonya from Absolution.
Yeah.
You could have Charlotte and Becky Lynch. You have the Riot Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have had Bayley and Sasha Banks, but that's pretty much down the drain.
Oh gosh.
But I mean, you could have more tag teams at some point. You got the Iconics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4.
Natalya and Ronda somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to keep that going.
So it's very doable.
You could have you could always do Alexa Bliss and Mickie James.
Yeah.
So you've got the teams. The teams are in place. You can do it.
So who's to say they won't do that? Who's to say they won't have a secondary women's title? You know what I mean? There's so much they can do with the brand that could expand the women's division.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know.
Well, only time will tell if that
only time will tell.
Happen.
None of this is official. This is just us going off the top of our head and brainstorming.
We should be on the creative team personally.
Oh, we should.
But they have writers who just suck at their jobs. They're getting paid massive amounts of money for. So anyway, moving on.
Right. Moving on, I will start from 2006 until present time with the main event of the WWE pay-per-views, which I concluded into 2005.
We started at 1999 and went to the end of 2005 in our last episode.
Right.
You had a couple stumbles along the way on that one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I got there. One of them was the Cactus Jack and Triple H. That I got the stipulation wrong, but I got the match right. And then the other one was the Survivor Series Alliance and Team WWF. There was one guy I was missing, which was Booker T.
Yeah,
I hate myself.
You're never forget Booker T again.
Right, and I'm never going to forgive myself.
You also had one other stumble. You corrected yourself before I corrected you.
Yeah.
At the Great American Bash 04, saying JBL and Eddie was the main event when it was the Concrete Crypt match. But you got it before I corrected you and told you what the answer was. So I give it to you for that.
Oh, who can forget that? The Concrete Crypt match.
I wish I could forget that. All right, so we're going to start here. We're going to start at the beginning of 2006. We're going to try to rapid fire through these. Wilson, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
I will only stop you if you get something incorrect. Otherwise, just keep on going.
All right, no problem. And this is just real quick. Richard Harrison from Pawn Stars, who was the old man, passed away today.
Yes, that's very sad. We just I opened up the page to see the pay-per-view events up for myself because I can't do it off the top of my head like Wilson. That was a breaking news thing. So
Yeah, this is like recently just in, so this is very unfortunate. I'm a big fan of Pawn Stars, so I know it's off topic, but it's really sad to hear. But
just kind of things happening around the world today.
True. So, anyways, let's
Starting
move on.
with New Year's Revolution 2006.
That's a tricky one. But I'm going to go with Edge versus John Cena for the WWE title.
That is correct. Okay, moving on.
What's the next one?
Royal Rumble.
Trying to trick me here. Mark Henry versus Kurt Angle for the World Heavyweight title?
Woof.
How was that? Whatever.
That I can tell you why it was main event. It was because the ring collapsed afterward for Taker to show up.
Right.
Which is why it wasn't the Royal Rumble itself.
Which brings me on to No Way Out, which was Angle and Taker for the
I kind of gave that one away.
Angle and Taker for the world title. WrestleMania was Triple H and John Cena for the WWE title. Backlash 06 was Triple H, Cena, and Edge for the WWE title triple threat. And what's that?
Judgment Day is next one. Yeah, the double branded show.
Yeah, just tell me the next pay-per-view. All right, Judgment Day. 06?
06
was JBL and Mysterio for the world title.
Correct.
What was that?
Following that was One Night Stand.
Oh, that was RVD and Cena.
Correct. Vengeance.
06?
06.
Oh, that's a tricky one. It's a sad one. It's DX versus the Spirit Squad.
That is correct. The Great American Bash.
06 was King Booker versus Rey Mysterio for the world title.
Correct. SummerSlam.
Oof. I want to say Edge and Cena for the WWE title.
Correct. Unforgiven.
Oh, that's an easy one. That was Cena and Edge in a TLC match for the WWE title, which was at Edge's hometown.
After SummerSlam was in Cena's hometown.
No. SummerSlam was in Cena's hometown.
Well, it was Boston. Yeah, SummerSlam was in Cena's hometown.
Then, yeah, you're
Unforgiven was in Edge's hometown. And I believe they
swapped.
lost in their hometowns.
Yeah, that's funny. All right.
That's just coincidental how it was their hometowns at the same
No,
time.
they purposely probably did that.
Well, but you never know. No Mercy.
06? Oof.
Oof.
Oh,
I'm looking at this one. Wow.
I know. Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. King Booker defending against Bobby Lashley, Batista, and Finlay of King Booker's court.
Yes. King Booker's court. Cyber Sunday.
That was awful.
Oh, God. Talk about awful. Cyber Sunday.
I know. Champion of Champions triple threat match. ECW champion The Big Show versus World Heavyweight Champion King Booker versus WWE Champion John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship that was held by King Booker, which King Booker won after Kevin Federline interfered and hit Cena with the title.
Let's just repeat that again. Kevin Federline.
Before
Britney Spears' ex-husband, Kevin Federline.
Right, before he let himself go.
Are they still? They're not still married, right?
No.
Okay. You never know. I don't know. She's gotten married like 5 times, so whatever. Survivor Series.
06?
Yes.
Batista?
No. Yes. Survivor Series.
Batista and King Booker for the world title?
Correct. December to Dismember.
Oh my! I was not planning on this one. Wow. Does this? Damn it! I gotta go ahead and name this.
Yeah, I think you can do it.
Big Show, ECW champion.
Yep.
Hardcore Holly.
Yep.
Test.
Yep.
RVD.
Yes.
Did I say CM Punk?
You did not.
CM Punk. And Bobby Lashley.
In
An Extreme Elimination Chamber.
Just wanted to clarify. Yes, that's correct. You got it.
And Lashley won.
Armageddon.
That was Cena and Batista versus Finlay and King Booker.
Wolf-tastic. 2007. New Year's Revolution.
Cena and Umaga for the WWE title.
Correct.
What was after that?
Royal Rumble.
07?
07.
The Royal Rumble match, which was won by The Undertaker.
No Way Out.
07. That was Undertaker and Batista versus Shawn Michaels and John Cena, the WWE World Tag Team Champions.
Correct. WrestleMania 23.
Cena and Michaels for the WWE title.
Backlash.
07. Oof. Fatal 4-Way for the WWE title. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels versus Orton and Edge.
Fun fact, I was at the Raw where this match was announced. It was Michael Pena, Make-A-Wish.
Probably like 24 right now.
Something like that.
You think about it.
Was the guest general manager who was walking around Mick Foley.
He was a Make-A-Wish kid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was the general manager. He actually came out on stage and announced the match.
Yes, I saw that. You were there too.
I was there for that. I was in Bridgeport, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so...
Judgment Day?
Judgment Day.
Khali and Cena for the title.
One night stand.
07? That was a freaking... whatever. Kali and Cena falls count anywhere for the title.
Vengeance Night of Champions.
Ooh, that was a WWE Championship Challenge match. John Cena defending against... I don't know why Mick Foley was in this match. Mick Foley, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley. How many people were in there?
You one more. You're missing one.
Ed? Not Edge. No, Edge was world champion at the time. Oh, and Booker T.
But I was hoping you'd forget Booker T again.
No,
really
no, that's not happening again.
I just want, real quick, before we move on, Mick Foley was in a championship match in 2007.
He was pinned in that match.
It was 7 years after he retired. I'm doing air quotes even though no one can see them. Retired. Great American Bash.
07?
Yes.
That was an awful pay-per-view.
Oof.
Triple threat for the world? No. Oof, glad I caught myself. Lashley and Cena for the WWE
Yes,
title.
I was waiting for you to be wrong first.
No.
But you caught yourself. SummerSlam.
07, Cena and Orton for the title.
Unforgiven.
Undertaker and Mark Henry.
No Mercy. I thought you were getting that one wrong too. No Mercy.
Orton and Triple H last man standing for the title.
Cyber Sunday.
07, Batista and Taker for the world title.
Survivor Series.
07, jeez, man, killing me. Batista and Undertaker Hell in a Cell.
Armageddon.
07, Batista, Undertaker, Edge triple threat for the world title. Saturday.
Royal Rumble 2008.
The Royal Rumble match itself won by John Cena.
Number 30. I remember how angry you were the next day when I talked to you about that. You were so pissed that Cena had came back and won. At number 30, he was the first number 30 to win. Or was Taker the year before?
Taker was 30 the year before.
So they had no one at won at number 30, and 2 years earlier at number 30 win.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. And they said he was going to be out 6 months to a year. And I go on the computer to say, you see who won? Taker, Batista. No. See Cena pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Oh, man. I was so mad.
I had read the results the next morning, so I didn't even catch on real quick. Cause I looked at the results. I was kind of scrolling through them to see like the entries and the elimination stuff. And my mind didn't even process right away that Cena was supposed to be still out.
Right.
Because I read the results at 7 a.m. or whatever before I went to school, I think, that day. So I'm just like, oh, okay, Cena's in it. He's number 30, whatever. And then
you didn't even process it.
After I realized that he won, I'm like, wait a minute. He's hurt.
Right.
He's not supposed to be back yet. Anyway, No Way Out 2008.
It's a tough one, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's a tough one.
It is. Now that I'm thinking about it. Let's see. 08. Damn, because they did 2 Elimination Chambers that night.
They did, yep.
And only one of them main evented it, right?
Yeah, well, obviously. You can't have 2 chambers at one time.
This is true. Because I'm trying to think of who main evented WrestleMania, which was Taker. So was it a SmackDown Elimination Chamber? No. It was the Raw one. Triple H, Jeff Hardy, Umaga.
So far, you're correct.
I'm correct so far?
You're correct so far. You've got 3 out of the 6. You are correct so far.
Jeez. 08? Jeff Hardy, Triple H, Umaga. Who the heck? Not Mysterio, no. Damn. 08?
Uh-oh, we have a wrong answer.
Hold on. No, I know I have this. Because I'm getting the 2 mixed up, the 2 chamber matches. I got the 3 right?
Yep, those are correct.
Jericho
is correct.
JBL.
Correct. You're missing one more.
It's not Booker T, I know that one.
It is not Booker T. I will tell you the answer is not Booker T.
Jericho, JBL, and I know it's a big guy.
I'm just making noises over here.
Is it a big guy?
Yes. Well, not all.
Umaga?
No, I mean, you already said Umaga. Are we talking about a big man or a main event guy?
Both.
It's a main event guy for obvious reasons, because it's the main event of a show. This man is not large in nature.
So, Jericho.
I don't think hint should count as the right answer.
Huh? Hints?
Yeah, I'm giving you hints here.
Jericho, JBL, Triple H, Jeff Hardy.
We need to put a cap on how long you have to answer questions.
I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. I got 90% of the answer right, but who was it?
So yeah, Triple H, you got the correct.
Triple H, Jeff Hardy, Chris Jericho, JBL, Umaga.
You want to at least throw a name out there just to guess?
Yeah, I'll throw a few names out there.
Just no, you get one. The first.
Just one name.
Well, the one is the one you're gonna go with for your answer.
All right.
Just throw a name.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is correct.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels was correct.
Whew. All right, go on. WrestleMania.
Mania 24.
Edge and Taker for the world title.
I still can't believe you got that. Just throw a name out there and it was right. It was Shawn Michaels. Backlash, 2008.
I believe that was a fatal 4-way for the WWE title. Randy Orton, JBL, Cena, and Triple H.
Correct. Judgment Day.
08?
Yes. These are all obviously it's 08 because we're still in 08.
Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to see if it was Raw or SmackDown who closed the show. Who was the champion in 08? Triple H versus Orton in the steel cage.
It doesn't say if it was the cage, but that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
One Night Stand.
Wait, that happened in 08?
Yes, it did. It happened in San Diego, California.
What? One Night Stand in 08?
Yes, I think this is when this was in its
Oh,
place with
okay.
Extreme Rules. This was basically Extreme Rules.
Okay, yeah, it was.
I watched it. I remember watching this at your house.
No, we didn't watch this at my house.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, that
Watched
was
the year after.
Whatever.
Triple H and Randy Orton, Last Man Standing, for the WWE title.
Incorrect.
What was it?
One Night Stand 2008 was The Undertaker versus Edge.
That's right. I got one wrong. That was what do you call it? Where Taker would be banished from WWE if he had lost. Banished from WWE.
Yeah. Banished for how long?
Okay, so I got one wrong. Screw you. That's an ECW, whatever. But whatever. Go on.
It wasn't ECW. It was WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah. Whatever.
Night of Champions.
08. This is June or July?
June.
June.
End of June.
End of June. Cena and Triple H for the title.
Correct. That was the Sunday after the draft had happened.
Right.
Because Triple H had been drafted. I think Triple H was drafted to SmackDown on the Monday before.
Actually, both world titles were on SmackDown, and Cena needed to win. Thankfully, Punk cashed in 8 days later.
I was confused, so I thought it made the pay-per-view so predictable.
Right.
And then he swerve and then Punk win next week on Raw when Edge was doing his farewell address or something.
Yeah. Hold on. Just for time constraints, I'm just going to go through until 2011, and I'll follow up on the next episode from there.
We'll do part 3 to current day. But continuing on in 2008 here, what do we do? Night of Champions last?
Yes. So July would be Great American Bash.
Great American Bash in July, yes.
Edge versus Triple H for the WWE title.
SummerSlam.
Edge versus Taker Hell in a Cell.
Unforgiven.
08.
We're going to try to rapid fire through these now. The studio wants us out.
Championship Scramble for the World Heavyweight title.
Yes. I actually like the Championship Scramble idea, to be honest with you.
When was the last time they did one?
Probably 2008. I think there was one that happened after that. Because 3 of them happened on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, the ECW World title and WWE.
They did them all in Scramble. An Adam Lee original. Mike Adam Lee, guys. Remember him?
You know,
if you don't, I'm not surprised.
That's probably why they don't do those anymore.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Unforgiven 08.
The Championship Scramble for the World title.
Yes. Who's in it, though?
Oh, shit.
Well, the answer's correct, but who's in it?
Crap. I know Jericho won.
Yes, because he took Punk's spot.
Right.
When Orton punted Punk in the head, I believe.
Right. He was the last one to come out, too.
Yeah. After Shawn Michaels had destroyed him earlier in the night.
Right. So it was Chris Jericho, Batista, Rey Mysterio. How many guys are in there? 5?
5.
All right. CM Punk, Batista.
Well, CM Punk's not in it. Jericho's in it for Punk. Yeah. Punk was advertised as the guy.
Okay, so we're going to go with the final
We're going to go with Jericho because he was in it. Jericho,
Batista, Rey Mysterio, Kane, and JBL.
Correct. No Mercy.
08.
This is I knew this one before at that time.
No Mercy 08?
Yes. Phenomenal match.
Yeah, it was a ladder match for the world title, Shawn Michaels and Jericho.
Yes. Cyber Sunday.
08. Batista and Jericho for the world title.
Yes.
Austin as a special guest referee.
Wasn't that where Batista won and lost 8 days later on Raw
in a cage match?
I couldn't believe that he lost.
And he got fined
for busting him open. Yeah.
For blading. Yeah.
It's in Jericho's book. Batista was fined $100,000 for that. Jericho was freaking out in his head. He didn't say this out loud in the meeting with McMahon, but he was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting fined $100,000 too." Jericho was fined $5,000, and Batista paid it for him.
The referee was fined too.
Also 5,000. I was letting it happen. Batista paid his also.
Yeah, Batista paid everyone's fine, so.
Because it was his idea.
Right.
Survivor Series.
8. Oh, that's an easy one. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I know. Triple H versus Survivor Series 08.
Survivor Series 08.
Survivor Series 08 was not the WWE title match.
It was not. I didn't even let you finish what you were going to say.
Oh, that was Cena's return. Jericho and Cena for the world title.
Which is why I'm angry, because Cena, who always says, I earn everything I get. I earn it. I've been here 15 years. I earned it. You came back from injury and were given a world title match. You were just given it.
Multiple times.
Yeah, multiple. He did it against, I think, Del Rio, too.
Hell in a Cell 2015.
Just given a title match because he's returning. Fuck you, Cena. PG my ass. Hey, if anyone listening, sorry for my harsh language, but I hate Cena for that reason. I earn everything I get. I'm giving title matches.
There's Chris's
bullshit.
Airing his grievances. Anyways.
Armageddon 2008.
Armageddon 08 was Triple H, Jeff Hardy, and Edge for the WWE title.
Correct. Royal Rumble 09.
The Royal Rumble match itself won by Randy Orton.
No Way Out.
09.
Oh my God.
I know.
I'm just looking at it. Wow.
I know, and I remember this. This was world champion John Cena defending against... I'm going to take Kofi out because Edge took his place. So, Cena, Edge, Mysterio, Kane, Mike Knox.
Mike Knox, that's why I was laughing.
And Jericho.
Yes, correct. For the love of God, Mike Knox main evented a pay-per-view in an elimination chamber. Oh, I wish they still did that before the...
That's his claim to fame.
Oh, Mania 25.
Triple H and Orton for the title.
Which, by the way,
that
was
sucked.
Not the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. Because the 25th anniversary would actually be 26, not 25.
True.
To have an anniversary, you can't have an anniversary and have the first one count as an... that's not...
Yeah, you're right.
Because they never... We call it WrestleMania 25. They promoted it as the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania.
They still do.
And it's not. That the anniversary would be 26.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
And if you don't want to listen to me, listen to the guys from What Culture who will tell you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Backlash. You were correct. Orton Triple H in a horrible match.
Yeah.
It couldn't follow Taker and Michaels. It couldn't.
No.
Backlash.
Six-man tag for the WWE title. Legacy. Orton. I know. Orton. Cody Rhodes.
Well, you're wrong already.
What?
So.
Backlash?
Backlash 09.
Oh, no. Let me correct myself.
I love when you're wrong. It's great.
No, I'm not wrong because I that wasn't my official answer yet.
Bullshit.
It
You're
wasn't.
going through the competitors.
It was not. Edge and Cena, last man standing for the world title.
Yes. Judgment Day. And you would have been wrong if I didn't correct you. If I just said, okay, yeah, you're right, you would have thought you were correct.
No, I was whatever.
Yeah, no, it's not my official answer. Yeah, blah, blah,
It's
blah.
not my
You were
official
wrong
answer.
again.
I got one wrong.
Oh, whatever. Judgment Day 09.
We watched this at my house.
We did.
It was
We did.
we did. It was Edge and Jeff Hardy for the world title.
Yes. Extreme Rules.
Ooh. I'm going to give you both. It was Edge and Hardy in the ladder match, and then it was CM Punk cashing in on Hardy for the world title.
The technical main event is Jeff Hardy versus Punk because it was the last match to happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we know now every pay-per-view has 2 or 3 main events. For purposes of this, we're going by what closed the show.
Right. So,
And in technically, Hardy and Punk was the final match to happen.
right.
But yes, Edge and Jeff Hardy, you were correct for that. But The Bash. Not Great American anymore, it's just The Bash.
Triple H and Randy Orton in a 3 stages of hell.
How many times have you said that as a main event so far? Jesus.
I know.
Night of Champions.
09, that was Hardy and Punk for the title.
SummerSlam.
That was Hardy and Punk in a TLC match?
I'm not sure what
it was. A ladder match or a TLC match?
They did a cage on SmackDown, which is when Hardy left.
Right.
A couple days later.
No, I know it was a TLC or a ladder match because Punk took the title, like he unhooked it.
Down, yeah.
So yeah, that was the main event of that.
Breaking Point.
Wow. That was Cena and Orton in a submission match?
Incorrect.
At quit match.
Incorrect.
No. Hold on. Punk and Taker.
Punk and Taker.
Yes.
Hell in a Cell.
09. Oh,
I will give you credit. You're naming main events. You're not naming the correct main event of the actual show.
whatever. I'm getting them. Hell in a Cell, DX versus Legacy.
Correct. Legacy won that, I believe.
Rightfully so.
Well, yeah.
They had lost at SummerSlam the month prior. And
Bragging rights is next, but yeah, they did, yeah.
bragging rights.
Legacy needed that victory.
That was the Anything Goes Iron Man match.
Yes.
Cena and Orton.
Orton's getting close to the show, but that was a great match. Horrible ending.
Yeah. Because they did the cliche ending that you hate.
With Orton tapping with like 5 seconds left. Like,
Once-
he's in the move like a minute. And with 5 seconds, you couldn't hold on? Come on.
Oh, when Sasha Banks tapped to Charlotte with 3 seconds to go or something like
Don't
that.
even start on that crap. Survivor Series.
09.
I remember watching this with you.
Yep. Cena, Triple H, and Michaels in a triple threat.
Yes, the opening, the bell rings, Michaels kicks Triple H in the face. It was beautiful.
That was awesome.
TLC.
TLC. I
I
know.
remember the build-up for this, too.
I know Cena and Sheamus didn't close it.
They did not.
They did not. I know. Oh, okay. It was Jericho versus DX.
For the tag team titles.
For the tag team titles.
And DX had won. Because Triple H and Michaels had never been tag team champions together.
They never were, right.
And that was the build to it. Jericho broke up like right after that.
And I think they did that just because they knew Michaels was retiring soon.
Yeah, that would make sense. Royal Rumble 2010. We have 2 years left to go, guys, in this episode.
Yep, we'll go through these. These are relatively easy now. It was the Royal Rumble match itself, won by Edge.
Yes, Elimination Chamber. Oof. Looking at the list. Oof.
Yeah, because they did these these are awful. It was for the world title. Undertaker defending. Again, I don't know why these guys are on this match, but Undertaker defending against Chris Jericho, R-Truth, John Morrison, Wade Barrett, and Drew McIntyre.
False.
Who was it?
You had the first 4 were correct.
Okay, Taker, Jericho,
Morrison and Truth. Those
Morrison
are all
and
correct.
Truth.
I feel like
CM Punk. CM Punk.
I think you're confusing the other 2 with the Raw show.
Yeah, I am. CM Punk.
Is correct.
CM Punk's correct. And Rey Mysterio.
Correct.
Sorry guys, I got them because in these pay per views
they did 2 a year.
They did 2 a year, so I'm getting both of them confused. But yeah, I got that right.
Can we just point out that there was a world title match that featured The Undertaker and R-Truth as opponents? Like, just I know it's a 6-man here, but just let that sink in. A main event for the World Heavyweight title featured R-Truth and The Undertaker. I know Jericho won because Michaels came out from under the ring.
You watched it at my house.
He did, and he super kicked Taker to set up the Mania 26 match. What's the main event of 26?
Michaels and Undertaker.
Career versus streak.
Yes.
Extreme Rules.
Oh my goodness, this is so awful. Batista and Cena in a last man standing match. The way he won that.
Oh, where he duct taped Batista.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
God. They recycled that with Big Show and Del Rio, too.
They did.
Over the Limit.
Over the limit. Cena and Batista, I quit.
Fatal 4-Way.
We were there.
Oh, God, I didn't even catch. Yes, we went to Fatal 4-Way. Probably one of the worst pay-per-views of all time. It was a 2.5-hour pay-per-view. It was over at 10:30.
It was over before that. Because it only dragged on to 10:30 after before Nexus even did their thing.
Yeah, like, unbelievable.
So anyways, it was for the WWE title. Cena defended against Randy Orton, Edge, and Sheamus.
And Sheamus was victorious.
Yes.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. 2010. Cena and Sheamus for the WWE title.
Sheamus was the main event.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
That was the Nexus versus Team WWE.
You want to try to name them all?
Easy. Well,
I know you can do it, but...
yeah. Which one? Both teams?
Yeah, sure, why not? Just run through them. I mean, you can do it.
God. Wade Barrett, Heath Slater, Michael Tarver, Darren Young, Skip Sheffield,
A.K.A. Ryback. It's not really that important to name them all. I don't really care enough.
Justin Gabriel, and David Otunga.
Yes.
Versus Team WWE, which is, oh my gosh. Cena, R-Truth, John Morrison, Bret Hart, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, and Edge.
Correct. I still can't believe Nexus lost. I don't want to get into that.
No, that's a whole...
Yeah.
We could do a whole nother show dedicated to that.
Yeah. But here's Mr. I'm John Cena. I earn everything. Yeah, I bury talent with my shovel. I borrowed from Triple H. Night of Champions.
That was a six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship.
Correct. Want to name them all or no? That's correct. That is the right answer.
Sheamus defending. We watched this at my house too. Sheamus defending against John Cena, Edge, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and Wade Barrett.
Correct. Hell in a Cell.
2010. 2010.
TikTok.
Listen here, we're almost done. Actually, yeah, we only got like 3 more pay-per-views and then to hit 2011. I'm just trying to think if it was a WWE title or world title at the time. Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I remember now. It was awful. It was Kane defending against the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell.
Correct. Bragging rights.
I might get this wrong. Wasn't it Cena? I'm sorry, not Cena. Wasn't it Wade Barrett and Orton for the title?
Correct. Survivor Series.
Wade Barrett and Orton for the title.
That is correct. TLC.
Wade Barrett and Cena in a chairs match or something like that.
Moving
Right?
on to the final year for this video, 2011.
Well, am I listing 20 or am I ending at 2011?
I thought you were doing 2011 also.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Well, either way, we can stop it here if you want. If you know, we're gonna call it a day.
We could do. Let's just go up until Mania. And all.
All right, we're gonna go through Mania 2011. We got 3 more to go. Then Royal Rumble 2011. I was actually at this event. It was in Boston.
Why? It was awful.
And I wanted to go to a Royal Rumble. That's why.
It was awful.
By the way, this wasn't the main event, but I believe it was. The Miz versus Randy Orton.
Why?
God awful match. It was horrible.
It was.
And it followed Ziggler and Edge, which was phenomenal. That match was great.
Well, it was a Royal Rumble match itself, the 40-man Royal Rumble.
Won by Alberto Del Rio.
Thank you for answering.
Well, I mean,
Because I was gonna say somebody else. No, I'm joking. It was Del Rio. Then
eliminated Santino Marella last.
what would you have done if Santino had won that?
I was with my buddy Nick. We were going to WrestleMania 27 that year. And when Santino got back in the ring, we realized he wasn't eliminated. I looked at him and I said, if Santino wins, we're not going.
You didn't want to see Santino main event WrestleMania?
No.
Oh, open WrestleMania?
Yeah, open WrestleMania. Yeah. No, that didn't happen. Elimination Chamber.
2011 was... Who was the world champion? It was for the world title. For SmackDown. I want to say.
Looking at this, I don't believe it was.
It wasn't?
I don't have if it was, what world title. I just have what the match was itself.
Oh, but it's a chamber match though, right?
I believe, yeah, it's 6 guys. So it has
Okay. So, I'm going to save myself here. CM Punk. No, that's for Raw. Damn it. I just don't know because I hate when they do this. They have 2.
CM Punk was correct.
CM Punk was correct?
Yes.
So then it was a Raw one. So it was CM Punk, Randy Orton, John Morrison, R-Truth, Rey Mysterio was on SmackDown at the time. 2011. Kane? No.
Go through the names again.
CM Punk.
Yep.
R-Truth.
Yep.
John Morrison.
Yes. Those are all correct.
Randy Orton.
Yes.
The Miz was champion. He didn't need to be in that match.
He was not in the match.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Wade Barrett?
No.
No, not Wade Barrett. There's one more, right?
There's one more. I think you already said it too. They said like a couple minutes ago.
All right, then I said it. Screw it.
I don't know if you said it or not, but Sheamus.
Sheamus, yeah.
I thought you said Sheamus already. Yeah, because you could use your logic.
It's Sheamus, right.
You could use your logic because the main event of WrestleMania 27 was. By the way, in my opinion, this was
Cena and
the
The Miz.
worst WrestleMania of all time.
It was the worst WrestleMania main event of all time.
Cena was botchamania in the first part of that match.
You think he was doing it on purpose? Like he didn't want to put Miz over?
I don't think it was on purpose because I don't think he'd try to botch the main event of the biggest show of the year. True. I don't think he'd try to botch the main event of the biggest show of the year. I don't think he'd try to botch the main event of the biggest show of the year. I don't think he would try to botch the main event of the biggest show of the year. I don't think he would try to botch the main event of the biggest show of the year.
True.
I think he just botched because he can't wrestle. I earn everything. Fruity Pebble.
Well, there's Chris's.
But yeah. So anyway, that's me complaining and whining and whatnot. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This is our longest episode to date. Hour and a half. But
Awesome.
Hey, if you're listening at work, something that get anything better to do anyway.
Yeah, go to the. If you go to the gym, you're a fan of pro wrestling.
You can listen to us blabber on and on about history and insert stories in the middle of pay-per-view listings.
Yeah, give us some feedback if you want us to talk about anything, if you want us to bring anything up, or if you have anything.
Give us any fantasy matches of your own.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Like, subscribe. You can find us on Facebook at End of the Day Entertainment.
You can find me, Wilson A. Detres, on Facebook. Wilson A. Detres, all lowercase, no spaces, on Snapchat.
You can find me, Chris Day, on Facebook. End of the Day Entertainment on YouTube. Working on getting a whole SoundCloud thing going. Only episode 1 is up there right now. This is episode 5, but we're working on that.
Really?
Yes. Well, YouTube is so much easier. But SoundCloud, I know people like SoundCloud for podcasts and all that. But anyway, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks,
really
guys.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Share us on Facebook. Share it on YouTube. Share the link. Do all that fun stuff. We love your support, and we need help with that kind of crap. So
yeah, because we're not very popular. Let's just throw it out there. We're not very popular.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Well, I'm not popular.
Give me a mic, episode 5.
Thanks,
you all
guys.
for listening.